I was on dinner duty the other day when 5 young gentlemen walked my way. Elliot, Lily, Luke and Tom, talking quiet as mice, with a big Fred Dom. I broke my top string. Lydia Spencer was so soft-spoken. Silence in the corridor was barely broken. Ali Fothergill in a whisper spoke to Peter King, and he laughed at his joke. You better believe it. And Kieran Donkin said hello in a quiet voice, not a bellow. He was stood by the gate as the day begins with his friend Phil Heppel and the dentistry. And for once I didn't mix up names, I knew which was Adam and which was James. Doing maths and English instead of PE were Erica, Jake, Rowan and Jamie. There was Natalie, Sally, Natasha and Dan, heads down in exams, working hard as they can. Top marks on the anger management scene went to Jeremy Gray and Josephine. Contented calm was observed daily in Leanne, Charlotte and even Hayley. Round 5 assessments had been and gone. I saw James Skeet at all grade 1s. Casey Lee was working hard and Matthew Roberts had a privilege card. Lee Scott and Simon Reeves had done their maths and tried to please. David Harrison and Williston Ashton had even got their geography done. In Lover's Corner now I go, where I found Emma Harrison and Ali Cole. La Dolce Vita and Bella More, Luke and Jasmine, young love story. James Pugh was all sweet and good. He doesn't miss school, but he misses Alex Rudd. Not far away in Love So True was Matthew Bedford and Amy Shue. Round the corner, a little hot, stood Priya Patel entwined in Scott. And what about that Annie B sloping off with James G? And Emma Bottomley was looking back on that last kiss from cute little Jack.
Never again. Okay, back on bed.
Now, not everyone's in love with the opposite sex. For some, girls have more dangerous effects. Take Simon Hayes, who used his mic with year 10 girls to pick a fight. Now, let's take the register. I don't believe it. All here today were Yasmin, Charlotte and Hannah Clay. I took a peek, and Paige and Geordie had been there all week. Casey Ryan and Luke D all had been arriving punctually. Mrs. Daw was feeling fine because at Richmond arrived on time. Correct uniform now. No one wore scarves. Where shall I begin? Georgina, Hannah, Esther Quinn, or Sammy Farmer, Ruth and Kim? Oh, and Jess didn't have her trousers tucked in to the socks. There was no makeup on Anita Brown, and Ashley had put all her rings down. And Ian, Charlotte, I had to look back. I couldn't believe it, the shoes were black. I can't believe it, looking over there, Rose Taylor had one colour hair. Rose Goodland, I had to thump her because she was wearing black instead of the school jumper. said Richmond arrived on time. In the music room, I got a fright. With his Phantom's mask on was Liam White. And talking of things a little scary, there was Eldridge Smith dressed as a fairy. Michael Jackson number was on. Lucy and Lindsay were dancing along. At least Lindsay was hopping, having taken a fall, like that other student, that good child, Cole. Tom Keenan, Louise Spence sang by soprano, and Katie Woolen played piano. Ellen and Nicky were singing bass, and playing his iPod was Peter Pace. Charlie Green was on kazoo, and someone sat there playing the blues. The legendary finger-picking star on a two-string homemade box guitar. With his mojo working, I stood in awe and watched blues beaten Gav Redshaw. Yeah. Not everything was good in this new world. Dilly and Sophie were writing out lines. Carol and Leanne were kept behind. Homework not done stamp for Vicky Clark. And Nathan Pratt got the lowest mark in the science test. Not the best.
Oh, he won't be happy with that.
He won't be happy with that. He felt depressed. George Harrison failed his maths and Richard Farrer couldn't pass. Ben and Tom were struggling on, and so were James and Jonathan. Jess Cook's in trouble with her mother for playing truant. Sam Spence another. Rosie Bulmer took a full day off, and so did James Kelly to Ned Chalcross. Who's that sitting in isolation? I do believe it's Peter Grayson. And I'm afraid I just have to mention Maddie Pitkin in detention. Now this song must end, and I need to finish with a few names of messing they're not yet in it. So I must include Curtis and Matthew and James, and David as well, and that's everybody's names. So that's my song. If all of you please, I hope you do well in your GCSEs. Don't hold back, just tell us how you feel. A round of applause for me and Mr. Steve.